This is the guided note video for graphing a line in slope-intercept form. The learning target is I can graph a line in slope-intercept form. When graphing lines, slope-intercept form will be our friend. This is because we do not have to simplify or manipulate the given equation in any way. We can just look at the y-intercept and slope and graph it. In fact, when we start graphing lines in standard or point slope form, we will try to change them to slope-intercept form. So first, let's take a look at the general form of a slope-intercept form equation. So we have y equals mx plus b, where m and b are going to be replaced by numbers. So all we need to do in order to graph a line in this form is to identify what the slope and y-intercept are. Remember, the slope is always the number attached to x. Okay, so we've got this x here and we've got this number hooked right onto it. And if it appears we don't have a number attached to x, but we do indeed have an x, we will say that our slope is 1. Okay, and if it's a negative x, we'll say it's negative 1. And the y-intercept is always the number being added or subtracted on the end. So in our general formula here, we've got this plus b is being tacked along on the back side of it. Okay? Okay, so we've got our slope, as we just talked about, which is this m right here, and we have our y-intercept as well. Okay, so we're always going to start by making a point at our y-intercept. And our y-intercept is always on the y-axis. So our first point will always be on the y-axis. From there, we will use the slope to determine the steepness of the given line. Try to picture a slope as a fraction where the top number, which is our numerator, is our rise, and the bottom number, or the denominator, is our run. So the rise tells us how far up we will go from the y-intercept, and the run tells us how far left or right we will go. So it's important to note, if our slope is positive, our line will be going up from left to right. If our slope is negative, that means we will be going down from left to right. Okay? And if it appears that our slope is a whole number, our rise will be whatever that whole number is, whatever that value is, and our run will be 1. So at this time, I would move on to the example video for graphing a line in slope-intercept form.